They say life will knock you down, not once, but many times. But what really matters is how many times you get back up. This is the story of a boy who fell 7 times, lost, broken, and defeated, but the 8th time he stood up, everything changed. His name was Arav. A 16-year-old boy from a small town. Quiet, humble, always carrying a sketchbook wherever he went. He loved drawing. Whenever life got noisy, he'd sit near his window and draw whatever he felt, the rain, the streets, his dreams. Art was his world. But in the real world, no one cared about that. His parents wanted him to focus on studies. His teachers said, "Art won't get you a career, Arav. Study science." Even his friends teased him, calling his drawings childish. Still, he kept drawing. Because deep down, that was the only thing that made him feel alive. It started with a competition. Arav entered an inter-school art contest. The first time he had ever shown his work publicly. He worked for weeks on his piece, a painting of his mother's hands making food, because he said love is painted in small things. But when the results came, he didn't even make it to the final round. He smiled in front of others, but that night, he tore the painting apart. That was his first fall. The first time he felt like maybe the world was right, maybe his art wasn't good enough. Months later, he tried again, sending his drawings to an art magazine. He waited eagerly, checking the mail every day. But after weeks of silence, he got a letter. "Sorry, we cannot feature your work at this time." He didn't show anyone the letter. He just folded it, placed it in his sketchbook, and didn't draw for days. His father sat him down one evening and said, "Arav, dreams don't pay bills. Stop wasting time with these colors." Those words cut deeper than any rejection. He stopped arguing. He started studying physics, chemistry, math, but his notebook slowly filled with sketches in the margins, because even when he tried to quit, his heart didn't. A year later, he failed one of his major exams. He wasn't stupid, just distracted. His father's silence after that result was worse than shouting. Arav felt like a disappointment, both as a student and as an artist. He locked his sketches away. He told himself, "Maybe I'm not meant to be anything special." There was one person who always encouraged him, his childhood friend, Ria. She loved his drawings and often said, "One day, people will see the world the way you do." But when her family moved away to another city, Arav felt alone again. Her absence took away the only voice that believed in him. One day, during a school event, Arav volunteered to paint a wall mural. He poured his heart into it, a design full of colors and hope. But a few older boys mocked it, saying, "Looks like a kid's doodle. You call this art?" They painted over it with gray. Arav just watched in silence as his work disappeared under cheap paint. That night, he didn't pick up his brush. By now, he was tired. Tired of trying, tired of being told no. He decided to stop drawing. For good. He packed his sketchbooks into a box and pushed them under his bed. Weeks passed. Life became routine, school, home, silence. Until one day, a teacher announced a national-level art contest. The winner's painting would be displayed in a city museum. Everyone expected Arav to join, but he didn't. He told himself, "I've already fallen enough times." That evening, as he was cleaning his desk, a small folded letter fell out of his old sketchbook. It was from Ria. The last one she wrote before she moved away. It said, "Arav, if you ever feel lost, draw something again. Because your art doesn't fail when people don't see it. It fails only when you stop believing in it." Those words hit him hard. He opened his box of sketches again. The torn pages, the faded colors, the unfinished dreams. He realized, every time he fell, his art had been waiting for him to stand back up. That night, he drew again. Not to win, not to prove anything, just because his heart needed it. He submitted that piece to the contest, quietly, without telling anyone. His painting showed a boy walking up a hill, falling again and again, but every time he stood up, the sun behind him grew brighter. It was RAW. It was simple. It was him. Weeks later, A letter arrived. He opened it with shaking hands. It said, "Congratulations. Your painting has been selected for the national exhibition." He couldn't believe it. Tears rolled down his face, not just for the win, but for all the times he didn't give up. At the exhibition, people stood in front of his painting quietly. Some smiled. Some cried. "This painting feels like life itself." Arav didn't say much. He just looked at his painting, the boy who fell 7 times but kept walking, and in that moment, he realized it was never about the wins or losses. It was about standing up. One more time. Life will test you again and again. You'll fall, fail, get rejected, feel unseen. But remember, every fall is not the end. Sometimes it's the preparation for the rise that will define you. Because success isn't built on your first step, it's built on the courage to take your 8th. So if you've fallen, get up, try again. Even if no one believes in you, because the 8th time might just change your life. This was the story of Arav, the boy who fell 7 times, but the 8th time, he finally learned to fly.